There's nothing I can do about that.
What's that?
My phone making the noise.
You can turn your phone off. Or, well, not off, but mute it. If you want your phone on mute.
Oh, shit. Shit. I have to mute my computer, though.
I need to turn down this TV, too. Just in case. I don't know what's liable to happen. I don't.
Excuse me? M'excusez?
Merci beaucoup.
Oh, so, s'il vous plaît.
Chat on. I guess I'll do that real quick. I like having that on there, don't you?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Can you hear me on here?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. I'll just be on this this mic for a minute.
You'll be on that mic for a minute, eh? I don't know anything about it.
Eh?
Mr. Roll Tide, you guys are fucking great. I don't know if we're fucking great, but, you know, I mean, we try. How you doing, Mr. Roll Tide? Victor Sanchez. Hello, guys. Made it to the live stream. Well, welcome to the live stream, Victor. Shane Select, Patreon Day. I don't know what that means.
I guess maybe we got paid today through Patreon.
Did we?
I don't know. I don't keep track of it that often.
First live chat. Yeah, cool, Mr. Roll Tide. We're here, bud. It's Jesse. How you doing? Justin, I forgot to say hey to you. Hello.
Already got that many people in?
Yeah,
Jesus.
12 watching now, man.
Jesus. I'm almost there. I've almost got the
What do you guys think of Everett's name for the show today? We couldn't remember, so it's kind of what the hell happened. Oh, for everybody that's wondering, I'm ahead like 126 to 116 in the poll, so go to www.surrealtalkpodcast.com, vote in the poll. Team Eric, for sure.
For sure.
Tree Fitty on the Patreon. Tree Fitty. A damn Loch Ness monster. I gotta get this thing out of the way. I gotta go. Get out of here. So, have you tried these bacon Cheez-Its, anyone?
I tried them.
Oh, you know what? That's probably copyright. I had a buddy that's got a YouTube channel, said he had some shit pulled off because of copyright infringement. Does that mean we can't drink like cans of Mountain Dew and shit because it'd have the logo?
I doubt that.
Do you think they'd pull it off for that?
I doubt it.
Definitely for music, though. Like if you have a song playing in the background, it says it's offline. It says what's offline?
Reload your page. Reload your page.
Who, me?
No, whoever says it's offline.
Cat Hills, reload your page. Puru Sharma. It's 1:32 a.m. here in India, and hey, right on.
All right.
1:30 a.m. in India. Well, we appreciate you watching us at 1:30 in the morning.
Is the sound still only coming out of your left ear, Shane?
Sometimes the sound only comes out of my left ear. Tell Seth Rogen to sit his ass down and let's roll.
Chill out, Scott.
What's the topic today, guys? Well, if you'll read the description to the YouTube video, our topic today is listener call-ins. This is a chance for some of the listeners to give us their opinions on some of the views that, or some of the subjects that we cover, or talk about a subject that we haven't covered that's interesting to you, and we'll give you our thoughts on it. Is anyone else's audio being weird? So I guess there's weird audio, Everett.
I don't know about it.
Same here, sound only on left side.
The fuck? All right, hold on. I'll figure this out.
All right, Everett's got to figure this out. That's what he's here for.
See if that works.
Does that work?
Somebody done messed with my shit. I know what the problem is. Somebody messing with my shit.
Messing with your shit, huh? Same here. Sound on left side. I can hear myself just fine through both sides.
Should be fine now.
All I have is live stream offline, no audio or video. Cat, reload your page.
Hold on the shift button when you hit reload, I guess, or control button. Shit, I don't know.
You guys see the Monster Energy drink double comparison? Yeah, I did, Justin, and I don't put a whole lot of stock into that. That's kind of BS if you ask me. That's just like relating, you know, you see what you want to see pretty much. Better, fixed, yep, everything's good. Everett, you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, you see what you want to see with that Monster Energy and 666 stuff. That's just, you know, I mean, you could say, I mean, there's all kinds of shit. I just don't buy that. What's that, Everett?
I'll be ready to go here in just a few. Trying to get the YouTube chat thing looking right, you know.
The YouTube
oh, shit.
What?
Every time I do that, it messes it up. God, man, I'm a horrible producer. I don't know if that's obvious or not.
You guys just got, that's probably why I'm winning in the poll, man. Yeah. You know, I mean, shit like this. Holocaust. Ooh, Shane, what do you want to call in about the Holocaust?
I'll take that call.
Yeah, we'll take that call. The Holocaust. We got Skype. We got cell phones. What's up, Dabney? Shift and F5 to spam reload page.
Yep, that'll pull it down. Try
Still
a different
nothing.
browser.
Let me
Kat.
turn it off. Yeah, she says still nothing. Oh, yeah, you can read that, I assume.
Yeah.
Fuck off. I saw one comparing 666 and finish. Yeah, exactly, Scott. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Like the conspiracy and paranormal and weird shit crowd needs any help looking weird whenever you start comparing 666 and fidget spinners.
Right. Exactly. That
We don't
ever makes an
need any
excellent
help.
point. We already look stupid enough as it is, and then you got conspiracy theorists trying to compare a fucking fidget spinner to, the devil.
Pick your battles, people.
Right.
All right, I'd say we're about good. We need Step It Up, Seth Rogen. I haven't heard that one before.
That's new.
That's a new one. Somebody, Seth who?
I'm a keyboard warrior. So does that mean you don't want to call in, Shane, and talk about the Holocaust?
We'll go live here in a few. Start the podcast.
I probably can't even say anything about the
sound really
Holocaust,
loud
Did I tell you? Did I tell you I got into it with that Israel Under Fire page?
No, I don't want to know about it.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was, but you know what? The guy banned me, and but he couldn't argue with any point that I made. And he lives there. You know what I mean? So there's that. Correct. What does that mean? Correct. Oh yeah, so he's not gonna call in. I was gonna go pussy, but I decided against it. Pasta cost? Maybe. Went on a road trip a couple weeks ago, listened to 5 straight hours of you guys. Good shit. Wow, if I listened to 5 straight hours of me and Everett, I'd probably shoot myself.
Yeah, imagine having been in the car with us when we went to Atlantic City and on the way back.
Yeah, really.
It was bad. Am I getting any kind of...
We'd be singing CCR. Just got back from Illinois.
Just about ready. Anybody else in the chat ready to go? Or? That's cool, Chris. You can watch later, man. We know you love us. We love you too.
No problem. So yeah, anyone interested in calling in today, talking about your subject?
Yeah, we'll take anybody just about. We're not taking Scott again. No, I'm just kidding. Scott, you want to call in today? Come on, anybody.
No, if Scott calls in, he has to talk about I don't know, a subject of our choice.
Okay.
I mean,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, we listened to the Scott show that day.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't that day. I said we would today.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So Shane is not calling in, apparently.
No, he's not gonna. 7 hours, huh? Are we really that relatable?
Who watched for 7 hours?
Mr. Roll Tide, this is his first live chat, and he said the first time he found the podcast, he listened for 7 hours straight.
Scott. Yeah, 7 hours straight. Wow, I don't think I've ever listened to anything that long.
I know.
Audiobook one time I drove to New Hampshire. I listened to Fall of Reach the whole way.
Oh, yeah. So I almost have Darth Plagueis on my phone right now. So Jerome's got it on his phone, and what we got to do is we're Bluetooth it, but it takes so long to Bluetooth it. We have to start it at 6 in the morning when we get to work, and it'll be done by 4.
You guys are some tech geniuses over there figuring this
Shut
stuff
up. But so we started it at 10 the first time, and it didn't get done. So then we started it at 8:30, and it didn't get done again. So but we got to 86%.
What's it on?
It's just it's a file. It's 2 gigs.
Why don't you get the audiobook
It's 2
trial
gigs.
through Audible and just download it that way for,
And I know somebody
2 gigs for an audiobook? That's ridiculous.
It's a 14-hour track.
Still, okay, I guess that makes sense.
It's a 14-hour track. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like a song that's 14 hours. That'd be about, I don't think it's that crazy. Yes, very relatable. Well, thank you.
All right. Let me figure this out here. We'll go.
Yeah, you got to
live
get our first ones coming because it won't be a show if no one calls in. We'll have to call. I'll have to get my phone down there and pretend like I'm calling in. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
This is
Dr. Nick.
Yeah, this is Dr. Nick.
Dr.
I don't
Nick
know
right
enough
here.
yet to call about that. Well, then what the hell do you want to call about? Call about something else.
Don't give him shit.
He gives me shit on there all the time. I can give Shane a little bit of shit. This dude's all over me on the group
I know,
all the
I
time.
know Shane. I know Shane.
All the time. I can give him a little
Long
bit of
have
shit.
I been familiar.
I think he should add a T to his last name and make it Select.
Oh, wow, that's deep. Okay, I'm about ready. Gotta put in a password.
Do you got people? You got everybody lined up, or what's going on here?
Yeah, no, I don't have everybody lined up, but I got a couple people lined up.
All right, right on.
So I'm sure hoping a couple people I've emailed get back a hold of me or in the chat. Hey, let me do a couple call outs here real quick, see if they're actually in the chat before we get going. Ian Clark, you here? Jason Powers, Christina, are you here? And
Anonymous.
Hey, you're anonymous. We're gonna call you Ramrod.
Yeah.
No, God damn it. There goes that.
This is our anonymous caller, Ramrod.
Yeah.
God, we suck.
Okay.
All right.
Nothing
Deep
we can
thoughts
do
with
now.
Eric. Right. New show? Yeah, it's new. No, Deep Thoughts with Eric. With that.
Just the show called Deep Thoughts with Eric. I don't think he has deep thoughts. Anyway.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you ready?
I'm ready.
Hopefully this works.
You're listening to Surreal Talk, a look inside the world of cults, conspiracies, and the paranormal.
Something's not right, man. Something's not right. Something's bullshit here, and I don't believe it.
Honestly, this crazy shit could be completely possible. Give me like 10 seconds after the...
Disclaimer, we reserve the right to
do
be
what I
wrong,
want.
ladies and gentlemen. I do what I want. 5 what?
seconds after the theme.
Think you I do what know
Uh-huh.
the I whole want. story? Think you do. Aha. See you in the chat.
Now your hosts, Eric and Everett.
Welcome to Surreal Talk, a look inside the world of cults, conspiracies, and the paranormal. This is a lineupmedia.fm production, and we're back
Welcome back, everybody. New show, new week, new show.
at New Everett. Hopefully,
Yeah, last week I was a little off my game, huh?
yeah. We watched him have a really rough time last. It was pretty painful.
I feel like I'm back on my game this week.
Well, let's hope.
I've got all the necessary barbiturates or whatever it takes in my brain to get me...
Barbiturates probably isn't the right
Okay,
word.
with 5-hour energy, I drank one of those to hopefully get me, as they say. We listened to
gears going.
some pre-show jams, to get us kind of going, I thought.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
So I feel like today I'm going to be a little bit better, a little more on point. Hopefully I'll be able to keep a thought for more than a sentence or two. Didn't work out last week.
I hope so. No, yeah, you could not hold anything together last week at all. It was
What are you
rough.
going to do? So this week we're once again back at it, doing a call-in show. We love these. We love to talk to you guys. This week we're calling it Listener Call-Ins Volume 3 or 4, we think. I couldn't remember if we did this 3 times before, 4 times before, 2 times before. I don't know. Oh, Scott's asking, how was the stroke?
He's better.
That's between me and my wife. But I'm team. Tough crowd.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
because you suck at telling jokes. That's probably what's going on here.
No, I don't suck at telling jokes. I'm pretty good at it. So I haven't got a email back from my first caller, so I'm going to call Thomas. Thomas, are you ready in the chat for me to give you a call and get it on? I'm sure he is.
Get what on?
Thomas is our cousin. Get what on? The show, man. Get it on in the conversation. He's our cousin. He's also a fan of the show. He's been listening for a good long while. He's a former member of the military, kicked some ass in many engagements, I'm sure. I don't know. We've never asked him about it.
I have.
Oh, yeah? Has he kicked some ass?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I asked him at our aunt's funeral, I was like, what's the single most dangerous move you can do? And he's like, palm thrust to the nose, knee to the groin. Every time. I'm like, whoa, really? He's like, yep. Promise you. I was like, oh, cool. I didn't think I would be available to give my links, but I'm awake and watching.
Hey, Ben. Ben's saying he regrets not signing up for call. You can still do that, Benny.
Yeah. I mean,
No big deal.
we don't have a whole lot of structure here, so I mean, if you'd like to call, we're all for that.
Yeah. Anyway, so Thomas didn't say he was ready, but I'm going to
What
call
movie
him.
was that where Bruce Willis was like, "Fucking, I'm not gonna die in a fucking Benihana"?
I don't know.
Because like a restaurant out in the West Coast, I can't remember.
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, all right. Let's get it on.
Here we go.
You calling him?
Yeah, I guess it doesn't ring. Hopefully we can.
There it is.
There it is. It's pretty loud.
Who we calling?
Thomas.
Oh, okay.
Remember?
That's right.
Hello?
Hey, yo.
Can you hear us? Oh, God, I hope you can hear us.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Hey, what's up, Thomas?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Surreal Talk. Might
a
have
little delayed on my TV, but
Oh yeah, just turn your TV down and just listen through your phone. We should be good.
Yeah,
There's
just
like a 30-second delay on the TV. Yeah, it's going to be horrible with YouTube.
okay.
Yep.
Okay.
yeah. So you definitely just listen through the phone.
Yep. So you were saying you wanted to talk to us about the multiverse. That's a pretty wide topic. I mean, obviously, the multiverse apparently is everything in existence that we can comprehend. Well, might be anyway.
Yeah.
What do you think? What are your thoughts? Where do you want to go?
Well, my biggest thing is that it's probably one of the most widely accepted theory in the science community.
That we absolutely cannot prove.
All of the
All science is his best guess.
Anyway, sorry, Thomas. Go ahead.
So, we have Dr. Hugh Everett III, who in 1954 studied at Princeton, brilliant mathematician, studied quantum effects, and he came up with the multi-world theory, which is there's multiple different worlds that mimic or mirror ours.
That mimic what?
Our world.
Oh, our world.
Our world. So there's countless different, let's say, for example, Eric Hicks, and every possible outcome in his life is played out in all these different multiple universes.
Sure. Hey, Thomas, are you on speakerphone by chance?
No.
Okay.
All right,
You
good.
said
Yeah.
some people were having a little trouble hearing you.
That's better. Yeah.
That sounds a little better.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
My house has shitty reception.
Gotcha. That's better. Anyway, rewind us about 30 seconds there, if you wouldn't mind. Talking about if there was a single Eric Hicks versus the multiverse.
Give Ben the Skype number on through chat.
I will.
All right. Go ahead, Tom.
Probably the most interesting case of either multiverse or parallel dimensions would probably be it's not confirmed, but a story, The Man of Torrid, which I'm pretty sure you guys have heard.
What was it?
The Man of Torrid.
No, I don't know it.
In the 1950s, at the Haneda Airport in Tokyo, a guy landed, and he was going through customs.
Sure.
When he was going through customs, they have, how you have to check your passport and all that. Well, his passport came from Torrid, which is a country on the border of France and Spain. Now, the interesting thing is, Torrid doesn't exist.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Well, if you look on a world map, where he said Torrid exists is a little country called Andorra.
Sure, I know Andorra.
So anyway, they detained him. They detained all of his documents, put him up in a hotel. Well, that night, everything was normal. The next day, they opened up the hotel. The man vanished without a trace. And then, the real weird thing is, all the documents that they detained and locked up in a secure room was gone.
That's weird. So
Fucking government.
that sounds like a living version of like a Mandela crossover type of thing. You know what I mean? The two universes in the multiverse kind of.
Whoa, I think you're giving that too much credit. That could just be a simple kidnapping.
Well, I mean, if it's to be real, you know what I mean? Like the guy, one, bumped into our universe, and then two, after he was here a little bit, bumped back out of it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
So he's saying the guy was in our universe from a country that didn't exist. He's obviously from another timeline or parallel universe.
Yeah.
And then after they detain him for a
completely
while,
legitly looking passport.
yeah, I mean, it sounds like from what you're telling me, yeah, it sounds just like the guy was from another universe. So then he disappears the next day after all the stuff. So what if he, at that point, had just phased back over to whatever his original reality was?
He figured he wasn't in the right one. He's go back over.
I don't know if it's as easy as let me hit the button on my little portal gun like Rick has.
Yes, that's probably what happened.
Hey, you watch Rick and Morty, by the way? Thomas?
And then,
You watch Rick and Morty, by the way?
no, I don't watch Rick and Morty.
Oh, well, you ought to, because it takes place basically all over the multiverse. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But
That's a
and
fun
then
show.
also, our universe is constantly growing and expanding.
Right.
That's the theory.
Yeah, inflation.
Well, they can base that off of measurements that they take from
right.
space.
The way all galaxies are blue shifting away from us, it indicates that all galaxies are going away from each other. Not just away from a center point in the universe, but actually away from each other for the most part. Not all of them, because like Andromeda, for instance, our closest galaxy.
Getting closer to us.
Right, and it's going to collide with this. So some of them are getting close. That's a gravity thing. But the ones that aren't close enough for gravity to really pull them together are going apart.
Which means, if you think about it, if it is expanding, that means there's an outer edge, which means there has to be something beyond that outer edge that has not yet.
I think of it
expanded.
kind of like a wave on the ocean. The edge of the universe is kind of like the wave. I mean, there's still a fabric of reality, but the matter and the bulk of what this universe is hasn't expanded out that far. That's my opinion. I don't have any kind of real scientific backing.
There's got to be something there.
I mean, not necessarily. If it hasn't expanded to
mean,
there yet, I mean, but I don't know. We don't know what space really is. Is the problem?
I mean, we can't prove it, but we can't disprove it yet.
Yep.
We don't have a far enough satellite or telescope to see that far.
Mm-hmm.
But interesting thing is Albert Einstein.
Heard of him?
He thought our universe was like a soap bubble, and then there's this. That was our universe, and then there could be other soap bubbles.
Sure. Yeah, just the mini universes theory.
Yeah, and then if two soap bubbles collide, that could have been our Big Bang, and the fragments come off, create another universe. Or if one soap bubble splits and forms two bubbles, then you have a new universe that way as well. But
It kind of reminds me of the theory of the white hole versus the black hole, whereas a black hole swallows everything up, a white hole supposedly spews matter out. What if the creation of our universe or any other universe is basically that, the proverbial white hole? I mean, here's a thought, right?
Is that racist?
yeah,
No, that's not racist.
I mean, Stephen Hawking saw a black hole. It's just a wormhole to a different universe.
yeah, I don't know if I buy that, Stephen. You know what I mean?
But Stephen Hawking is a little crazy.
Yeah, he's no Neil deGrasse Tyson with his level of craziness, but he's up there. So what are your other...
Hang on. So there's a couple people in chat that don't exactly know what a multiverse is. Can you explain what the multiverse, the theory behind it, and what exactly it is?
The original...
I was actually talking to Thomas.
Oh, okay, fine, sorry.
Thomas, can you explain what the multiverse is?
Well, the multiverse, taken from the name, is a theory that believes in multiple different universes.
All simultaneously existing at the same time?
Yes. Or maybe not. There might be one that's stuck in the past. We really don't know. We don't know how time or anything, affects these different
Let's think about it like this.
multiverses.
Is it an infinite number of multiverses? If it is, then not only is there an infinite number of exact copies of us, there's an infinite number of universes where we don't exist. That's the fun of infinity, though.
Infinity is such a...
Infinite everything and infinite nothing has to exist in infinity.
I mean,
the
there
same
could be a
time.
multiverse where Hillary Clinton is president,
I'm not fucking going there.
and we're overruled by Nazis, or
I'm not going there either.
Some of
Raptors.
the best pop culture stuff has been the possibility of other times. Like, have you heard of like Red Son of Kryptonite or something like that? It's a Superman comic book where he landed over in Russia rather than America. It's like another universe. He turned, like, they raised him with Russian values during the Cold War, and he ended up growing up to be a dictator and ruling the whole entire planet.
Entire
basically.
world, yeah.
Instead of the Superman thing on his chest, he had the sickle and a hammer.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
What about Back to the Future Part 2, where they skew off into a different timeline? Is
So-
that the that's the multiverse, yeah?
So time travel has many different ways. So what if time travel is you're actually going forward and backwards in your own universe? And then there's the thought of time travel is you're not even going anywhere in your own universe. You're just popping over into another one at a different point in fourth dimension time. You agree there, Thomas?
mean, you know, you have, you know, deja vu, and then there's also, you know, alter view, which is when you remember the history differently. You know, kind of like the Mandela effect. So, you know,
I do.
Eric, you know, he might, you know, for example, might remember as the Bernstein Bears, you know, with an E, because that's
Always Berenstein for sure.
Well,
that's where his, you know, part that he remembers, and I might, you know, remember Bernstein Bears.
Well, there was a thing on the group the other day somebody posted where I think it was Jessica Smith posted. It was an actual Berenstain Bears swag, like merchandise, but the tagging on it started out said Berenstain Bears on the top, and then below that it had another thing that said Berenstein Bears spelled the other way on the same piece of swag for Berenstein Bears.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty weird. She was selling it, so you can find that in our group if anybody wants to buy that.
She was
really
selling
cool,
it?
Yeah, that really cool Mandela effect little in between artifact there. Mandela effect is one of the coolest things. I think it's bullshit, honestly, but it's one of the coolest things these days that point to the possibility of the multiverse.
Oh, it's a very cool idea to entertain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Like I was saying before. Hey Thomas, you got anything else you wanna blow our minds with? Any theories or whatnot on the multiverse?
No, that's pretty much it.
Right on, man. Well, we appreciate you calling in.
Definitely. Thank you for calling in.
We love talking about the multiverse.
Everett loves the multiverse because of that show.
You know, I wanted to go a little bit more before I let you go into the explanation of the multiverse. I want to make sure you agree with me. So the popular theory of the multiverse is that for every, it's not just that there are an infinite number of possible or dimensions out there. It's for every possible outcome of like down to subatomic movement. So if the particle in chaos theory moves left, it does so in this dimension. It moves right in that dimension. And for every decision you make, like I'm going to go to the bathroom and brush my teeth, or I'm going to go to the kitchen and get a drink. Just those little split-offs happen, and every possibility happens. So it's a quantum effect.
That's where the infinite number comes in.
It goes down to, you know, right now I'm drinking a Coke. In a different universe, I could be drinking water.
Or a Pepsi.
Something, you know, as mindless as that.
Or the water could be drinking you. There was an episode of Rick and Morty. They were running from the. I know, I love it. They were running from the cops, I believe, like the interdimensional cops, and they ran through 3 universes in a row. In the first universe, they ran through, I think, humans were the chairs. They ran through like a living room in a house, and it was some pizzas that were ordering some humans or something on the phone, like some food. And then they ran through a portal and come into the next one. Well, now the pizza is the chair is making the phone call, and the human is the phone. It's just every little possibility changes. There's just so many different possibilities. That's what's great about the multiverse.
Infinite.
Anything is possible. It has happened and will happen again. I don't know.
Now, if we could go to a different universe, would you meet the other universe's version of yourself?
Or would it, cause like a time delaying paradox?
Or time travel, and I'm saying time travel and dimensional travel are completely separate. And Pooh Sharma in our chat here agrees completely that it's 2 different things. Time travel and interdimensional travel are just separate. I would love to meet another one of myself. Did you ever see the movie One with
fight one of
Jet Li?
myself.
That's what that movie was about. He was going from universe to universe, killing all the other versions of himself and taking their power to be the one version of himself across the multiverse with all the power.
I have not seen that.
It was interesting.
Who do you think would win in a fight between you and you?
Depends on which me. Me and me from the next dimension over, or me the dimension where I'm fucking Chuck Norris.
No, the only difference in
or the
this
dimension where I have claws for hands. I don't know. There's an infinite possibility. I could shoot rockets out of my eyes in a dimension. So that's a loaded question. There's an infinite version of me.
So that guy's going to win. The rocket guy out of
And he's
eye.
also going to lose. You got to understand, all things happen at the same time both ways.
It's pretty hard to
And
lose.
it's not
with a
even
fucking
both
rocket
ways.
In a
that's in your
different
eyes,
universe,
okay?
ever could be, you know, this fat, lazy blob.
Fuck you.
That's this one.
Fuck you, boy. All right. This has been a great call, Thomas,
shit.
you son of a bitch. That's funny. All right, man. Thanks for calling in. I'm not hanging up on you because of that. It's just time to move on. We love you. We'll catch you next time. Nice talking to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you for calling, Tom.
See you, man.
All right, no problem.
See you.
Yeah, that was great, wasn't it? That
Yeah,
last one.
what a nice little add-on there at the end. That's fun. I love talking about the multiverse. I know it sometimes can make your head swim when you think about the possibilities because, again, infinity is
It's rough.
There's universes where CAT really does spell dog. Thank you, Ogre.
Yeah.
So
that's heavy ogre.
Indeed. All right, we're going to give Ben a call. He was just in the chat saying he wishes he could be on the show today. Well, wish granted. He wants to talk.
Maybe he can tell us if Benihana is really a restaurant.
No, he wants to talk about one of your favorite subjects.
What?
One we were talking about earlier today.
What?
Pizzagate/Pedogate.
All right.
This is an Eric special. So Ben, here comes your call, man. And the last thing he said in the chat, and I want to preface the call with that: I could satisfy a woman in another universe. Haha.
He wants to talk about pedogate.
So this ought to be a good call.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. It should start doing that weird ringing thing anytime now.
Let me pretend like I'm ordering a pizza.
Well, you do that every time it's old, but go ahead.
All right, I got it.
Great thing is he got
might
30
not know.
seconds. He don't.
Hey, this is Pizza Hut just
Okay.
calling you back just to make sure that you ordered the 2 large pepperonis with extra onions.
2 large pepperonis with extra onions, huh?
That's all he's got, dude.
Yeah, that's it.
What's up, Ben? This is Eric and Everett. He's just trying to fuck with you. You know how he does.
Yes. Yes. How you doing today?
Ah, man, I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
All we're doing, man. If we were doing any worse, we'd be mildewing. Then you'd be smelling us instead of seeing us.
God, that was horrible.
Hey, fuck. I fucking played it off. Go ahead. What's up now? What do you want to talk about?
You want to talk about Pizzagate and Pedogate, right, Benny?
It's not pedo.
Pedo. I think it is pedo.
Pedo, yeah, long E.
Maybe. Pedophile?
No, it's Pedogate.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we'll have to agree to disagree,
Thank
gentlemen.
you.
Anyway.
Anyway,
right.
so what do you where do you want to start at with the fucking chomos?
All right, so you guys got my message.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at it
pretty
right
much
now,
did all I
actually.
got. You know, starts out at what happened in Belgium, 1995, 1996. Reported on it again in 2002.
I'm interested.
All right, so these guys were snatching kids off the street. You know, police found multiple girls in a makeshift basement in a guy's house.
Wow.
Inside the barrels, though. I'm assuming dead.
Sit in the basement, not barrels.
Oh, I thought you said barrels. Sorry.
Actually, no, they found them alive,
Oh,
which
good.
was one of the crazy things.
And this
But-
isn't that guy that had his daughter in the basement, right? Nothing to do with that.
Why don't you let the guy tell you?
Oh, sorry, man.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so they find these people, and when they find them, they find ties to the police, they find ties to judges, they find ties to multiple levels of government, all the way up to the top. And it just disappears. It's pretty much the same thing that happened here in the U.S.
So they just squashed it based
Yeah.
on who they knew.
So you're saying Pizzagate came out in Belgium in what, the mid '90s, and it was basically the same thing that happened.
Pedogate.
Whatever. So yeah. Okay. So they had uncovered a big pedophile ring in Belgium, much the same as it just happened here. And
Pedophile ring, yeah.
yeah, it disappeared because I never heard of that before.
It's happened in Belgium. It's happened in Spain. It's happened in France. I mean, it's happened all over the place. And if you look at, I mean, this goes all the way down to, you can tie it to multiple other conspiracies. You can tie it to the Illuminati. You can tie it to the New World Order. You know, all the stuff with Luciferianism.
Luciferians.
Yeah.
You know, you can tie all that stuff together.
Well,
And
you
all
know
of
what?
that
I'm going to have to
runs-
disagree on the Luciferian thing, because Luciferian, that whole religion isn't like about like worshiping Satan. So I mean, if you're on that one, like where they're worshiping Satan, molesting kids, they're like trying to be better themselves. You know, that's that whole. We did the show on Satanism, remember, and we talked all about that Luciferian
Right.
religion and how it's just basically they just want to make themselves richer and better.
Well, it's a
I guess you know what that
self.
does tie in though, because once you get rich and powerful, apparently you become a pedo.
Fair enough.
You know, and what I've heard is like that's the only thing that the elite have to that's like the in bribe. Like you can't be in on this unless you are a pedo, because they've got to have something to hold over your head, and that's like you know what I'm
So
saying?
they force make blackmail material. They make you have sex with a kid, so they've got something on you.
Yeah, but I don't think they force
Pretty much,
after.
because I mean, nowadays, like, you can go and you can cheat on your wife, you know, and people
Good.
look the other way. You know,
fuck,
It's-
Bill
it's
Clinton got a
almost
blowjob
like
in the White House.
crazy.
Okay, that was, I mean, of course he got impeached, but people love Bill Clinton.
Still do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was his old lady. Now, if Bill Clinton would have got caught molesting a kid in the White House,
That'd have been bad. And he should have been hung for it or whatever. I don't know about hung. That's pretty hard for molestation. I don't know. I'm glad I'm not the one who ekes out justice.
Makes those decisions,
Yeah,
right?
stuff.
Sorry, Ben, go ahead.
All right, so, I mean, pretty much exactly what you said is true. You know, that's the only thing they can hold over your head. I mean, that goes all the way to the NSA, the CIA, the FBI. You know,
Higher than that, the Vatican, the royal family. I mean, I allegedly all the way that high.
Well, I mean, I don't know about the Vatican. I know about the other ones. You know,
I know about the Vatican. The Pope's right-hand man just got caught covering up. He had 3 cases of sexual abuse, and the Vatican, and the Vatican is rife with history of, instead of prosecuting their people that get caught in these abuse scandals with kids, they ship them off to different places. So that they're not being prosecuted, you know, and that's essentially covering it up is what you're doing, because they'll ship them off to a different,
take them out of the jurisdiction.
Exactly, you know what I mean? Oh shit, this guy got caught molesting a couple kids.
He's in America. Send him to Ecuador. Or
now he's in Brazil. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's fucked up the way that works.
See, and I mean, it's like, it's not just in Australia. You know, it's happened here in the U.S. It's happened, you know, obviously in Belgium. It's been documented. It's, you know, a clear case where it's happened and everybody knows what has happened. It's happened in France. It's happened all over the world, you know, and people just keep sweeping it under the rug because, you know, this is the elite and that's the fucking power that they have.
Yeah. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I agree too. I was thinking about it today that pedophilia is such a shitty thing, but did you know that back in Greek times, it was pretty much the norm?
Yeah, that's the shit that they were into. You know, that was like, you know, the who's who is fucking kids. You know,
and you go up onto the Acropolis or whatever it was called. They issue you 2 or 3 children. And
now follow me here. What if the secret societies that function nowadays were formed back then, when that shit was normal?
I mean, that's a hell of a
leap, but I mean that could be.
Sounds
you know,
like the basis of a Nick Cage movie.
Yeah, right. Or a David Icke conspiracy.
Yeah, you gotta love David.
Oh yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry guys, hold on.
Do your thing, man. I was just gonna say that the talk of Pedogate Pedogate's such a weird thing because that makes it seem like there's actually one. No, I call it pedo. I like it.
Oh, okay.
I don't like Pedogate, but I like that word.
It makes me think of feet.
Get past that.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm saying that it's not one conspiracy. There's not one pedophile ring out there, pedophile ring, whatever you want to call it. They're everywhere.
No, it's hundreds.
Yeah. I mean, it's a worldwide dilemma.
I don't get it. When are the people these judges that people are related to that have to get them out of, you know, this pedophile trouble, when are they going to say, no, you know what, fuck you, take your licks for, you know, doing what you shouldn't have done?
That's a rough analogy, though. Pedogate, take your licks.
Yeah, I shouldn't have went that way.
Right.
But look at the consequences that come with that. You know, who puts these judges in power?
Well, it could be. That's a good point.
You know,
he's my cousin, sir.
Coming down from above them.
Did you catch it? That was a funny reference.
I thought so too. Has anybody ever seen Spaceballs? You'll get that.
Love that movie.
Who made this man a gunner? He's my cousin, sir.
This guy's an asshole. All right, Ben. Anything else you want to talk about? I know you had a couple subjects you sent that message a while back.
He probably done with Pedogate.
Well, he's got that, but he had all kinds of stuff too.
Oh, okay. Well, hell, hit me.
I was just going to
fuck me up with some truth, Ben.
Pedogate's crazy. I mean, there's so many examples of
like
pedophile rings.
You know, I can go on and on about it, but just real quick, you know, everybody I'm sure that's listening to your chat, you know, in the chat room, everything like that, you know, they had to have heard Cat Williams. You know, everybody's seen Cat Williams stand up.
You would have to.
This motherfucker got 3 Foot Lockers. Or whatever it was. Yeah, we all heard it.
3 goddamn Foot Lockers. Yeah. Michael Jackson. Where he goes on about Michael Jackson being a pedo is funny.
And most people that are in this chat probably old enough to have seen Eyes Wide Shut. You know, if you follow Pizzagate, if you follow Pedogate, you know, they've made the references to Eyes Wide Shut. You know, Cat Williams actually references that in one of his stand-ups.
How so?
When he's talking about the mansion parties.
Give me the whole story.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, the mansion parties.
I don't remember. Tell me all about it.
He goes in one room, you kiss it. There are 2 dudes kissing. One room's this. One room, they're doing different shit in every room and then parties. You don't remember that?
No.
Oh,
see,
yeah,
the problem I have with Cat Williams is I watched his first special.
You can fuck around and walk in the wrong room and see some shit you don't want to see.
Right.
Yeah, that's weird, man.
I remember that.
It sounds like those swingers parties, though. You know, you go into the wrong room. I guess it's the same thing.
Well, that's what he's working up to.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you
out. You know, and then he's talking about the Illuminati. All right. when he's talking about walking into the wrong room, seeing some shit you don't want to see, he's talking about the Illuminati. And then in a private interview that he does that was, I don't know if it was televised or not. I know it's on YouTube. You can find it pretty much anywhere. He's talking about how the Illuminati Hollywood style does not want him and does not want Dave Chappelle. And when he references like all of these, you can walk in and see some shit you don't want to see, that's what he's talking about.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought, but
oh, you're
it's
good.
that 5-hour energy drink. It's making my mind go crazy today. Go ahead, man. That's fine.
Oh, I really didn't have anything after that. I pretty much fucking ran out.
So speaking of Eyes Wide Shut, I read an article this week, and I don't even know if this is legit or not because I didn't bother looking at where it came from on my Facebook feed, but I just thought it was interesting. Nicole Kidman, who was in Eyes Wide Shut, I don't remember if she directly told like her dad or somebody, which her dad I thought was a pedo too, but I'm not sure about that. That's
a hell of an accusation. Or not even an accusation.
I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but she came out and said
that they both are.
See,
that they're both into the same deal.
Right. And she came out and said that a lot of that is there's truth to that. There's truth to the whole pedophilia thing, and she learned that while filming Eyes Wide Shut.
I mean, look at what
I've never actually seen it.
What's the guy's name that played Frodo? Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
What he came out and said, even though he redacted his statement.
Right.
I'll go ahead and say that. But then you look at Corey Feldman, the guy.
Poor guy.
Everybody knows him.
Everett and I were just talking about him on the way up here. Corey Haim, yeah.
Feldman, yeah.
Corey Feldman said Corey Haim got passed around the Hollywood circle like a fucking bottle of cheap whiskey, dude. He said it was bad for that kid. He said it was bad.
Yeah, it fucked him up so bad he killed himself.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's what Corey Feldman attributes Corey Haim's death to, is the molestations and the sexual abuse at the hands of the Hollywood directors, and that's what Corey Feldman even came out and said he said it was directors, it was main people in the business,
studio heads.
Yeah, he didn't give any names or nothing, but he said it was just all those types of people that would just pass him around. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was like a casting couch for children.
Yeah.
Oh, the backroom casting couch. Yeah,
gosh, that's rough, videos. But yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And if you look at what just recently happened in L.A., they had 278 arrests, and the only thing that they named were an Australian official, which it doesn't say whether he was like a judge, whether he held a seat on some sort of fucking council, but they named a monk, which was like a 26-year-old monk, where they found child porn on one of his devices, doesn't say what device. But then when they're talking about people from the U.S., they're talking about, just white-collar officials, household names, Hollywood elite. They don't give any names.
Well, when you hear a lot about the pedogate here in America, the names that come up, you hear like Anthony Weiner, John Podesta, Tony Podesta, his brother also, and then you hear the pieces, James Alefantis, all that stuff is major talking points here in the U.S. when those conversations come up. But you're right, they don't have any like big-time government officials, because John Podesta was just the head of head of Hillary's campaign, and then Tony Podesta, I forget what he does.
He's a brother.
See, those motherfuckers are just creepy because of the art they keep in their house. Tony Podesta, putting out in a magazine where he's got a teddy bear sitting on a bed. Dude doesn't have any kids in his house. Fuck, you got a teddy bear sitting on your bed for?
Fucking pedos.
You got kids tied up and all kinds of other fucking art in your house. It's bullshit. That can be tied to that. All right. People can say everything they want. That's pretty legit in my mind. But when you're talking about 278 arrests that just happened in LA a couple months ago, and you're not putting out a single name.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's the shit that I want to know.
Yeah. How do you get away with making that big of a bust on that big of a child porn ring or child pedo ring and not release a single name?
How does that not even get out to the blogs? You know what I mean? Because I can see it not making it out in the L.A. Times or the Orange County Register.
But here's the thing, though. On something like that, if it is a bunch of high-level judges or fucking mayors and governors and whatever it may be, you put in a Freedom of Information Request Act for that, they're going to kill you. You're dead. It's over. It's game over.
Send Hillary
I want to know the names. Yeah, you got suicided for sure.
I want to make the T-shirt of that. I got suicided.
That's another thing that I put in the message, but I'm not even going to touch on that today. You guys will probably hit it later. The difference between the Hollywood elite and the political elite, because they both have their own fucking rank structures. They both have their own agendas. And I don't know who's pulling who.
Now that's interesting.
You know,
I've not really thought about a difference between the political elite and the Hollywood elite.
You know what? Next week we'll talk about that. Next week we're doing a show on weird Hollywood deaths. We're finally getting around to that, and Armand's going to be back on the show. Armand's been on our show a couple times. He did the global warming. He was on a week or two ago. But this time, he lives out in L.A. He's in the movie business. He's a writer. He's been on many, many game shows. He sold scripts out there, had movies made from his scripts. He knows a lot about the old school Hollywood and about all the shit that goes on out there. So it'll be interesting to see or hear Armand's take.
What his take is on pedos?
Yeah.
Right. But you know what I'm saying?
And the structure, like the elitism out there, just to hear the kind of shit that goes on.
Because there's got to be somebody at the top.
You've got so many people sitting at home. You know, obviously the political elite have their agenda, and they need the people sitting at home, you know, to follow whatever they've got going on. But nobody knows their names. All right, so who do you use? You use the guys in Hollywood. You know, you put it out in movies, you put it out in TV shows, you put it out in everything else. You know, that's the way it goes. So where do you tie those two together?
Indeed, where?
Mainstream media. No, I'm just bullshit. That was just nice.
That's great. All right, Benny, you got anything else
Now,
for us, buddy?
nobody watches fucking CNN anymore. Nobody watches MSNBC.
Yeah.
You got to have
CNN
cable to watch the cable news network.
CNN pretty much got fucked up lately, didn't they? They're pretty fucked out.
Yeah.
I'm sure CNN probably won't survive this.
Did you see that thing the other day about how it was the guy that was it was mic'd, and they were talking about how
I posted it.
Oh, okay, so that was you.
Yeah.
So I guess you did see it.
I did see it.
Well, explain it real quick.
It was an interview, and it was a undercover interview, and it was a guy talking to one of the executives, or maybe like the head dude at CNN, and he was just getting him to tell.
I think he was just a producer. Honestly,
he was getting him to tell like how it doesn't matter if it's true or not with the Trump-Russia collusion. It was more just like
because it sells. It's like how
sells,
newspapers used to only put print stories that would sell a newspaper. They want ratings.
But that's not fucking journalism, though.
That
man.
is not journalism.
That is not journalism. Not at all. And
well, it's the same group that makes that the news that keeps other shit from being the news. You know what I mean? The pedo ring is kept out of the news for a reason, and Trump is kept in there for a reason.
Yeah.
People lose money on the pedo ring, and they gain money on the Trump shit. That just sells.
Mm-hmm.
But the money lost, they would make a lot of money publishing shit about a pedo ring, but the people who were involved in it will lose way more money. So
yeah, you fuck around and catch two to the back of the head.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
I wonder why we ain't caught two to the back of the head. We did 2 Pizzagate shows.
It's only a matter of time.
True. Hey, well, we appreciate you calling in, man.
I've enjoyed calling.
Thank you.
I'm going to go back drink some more beer before I got to go to work. You know, I'll listen to you guys.
Oh, hell yeah. Hopefully you don't operate heavy equipment at work.
Oh, hell no. They just give me a gun.
Oh, yeah, even better.
Fuck it.
All right, take it easy, Ramrod.
He's a cop. He's going to get hammered before he goes to work.
See you, buddy.
That's not Ramrod, man.
Duh.
Gosh.
Hey, it's a long day for me.
Some people's kids.
Ben. Sorry, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's next, man?
Who is next?
We're going through them today.
Witching Hour is here.
Let's do Witching Hour.
You got to call.
Her number. Hey, send me your number there, Christina.
It says, hey, Eric, can I ever just let you know my video feed's pretty far behind, so call me when y'all are ready. My Skype's already up.
Oh, yeah, she sent that to me, didn't she?
I don't know.
Hang with me for a minute. I got to get this here. My God, I've already lost it. Hey, stall. Eric, stall.
Stall. Okay, yeah, stall. This land is your land.
Oh, God, don't
This
do
land is
that.
my land. Oh, okay, never mind.
Maybe she messaged it to me.
Hey, that was a pretty interesting call, though. I like that. That was pedos. Not that I like pedos, but I like talking about that subject.
It was your idea to do that the first time, and it was kind of we had to do it the second time.
Yeah, because that was your fault, though. God, no more Pizzagate. That shit is so fucked up. I know, but that's why we need to talk about it, Dabney, because it is so fucked up, and the more it gets out, the more people know about it.
Yeah, here's the Skype address. I found it.
You know what I'm saying, man?
I do, but I don't know that I actually think about it the same way you do. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Is this right? No, that's not right. Hold on. Add contact. I should have had this.
Cheese, Louise, Papa Cheese.
Should have had this ready.
Yeah.
Surreal Talk.
He was like, I'm going to go drink some beer before I go to work. Hell yeah.
All right, there's 3 accounts that are showing up for this, so I'm going to send the fucking a request to every single one of them.
Yeah, might as well. So you're getting a request, Witching Hour dude.
Yeah, talk about the whole Witching Hour dude thing.
Yeah, well, we didn't know that it was a gal, and so whenever it was in the chat for originally.
She was in the chat, right?
Yeah, she was in the chat. Well, I'm saying it because it just showed up as the Witching Hour Productions, Macabre, and all that.
It's macabre, you son of a bitch.
Anyways, you know how I like to do that. So yeah, stories. Yeah. What's your number? I could try calling you. Oh, likely story. All right, his personal number is no.
I don't know what our Skype number is. I know we have one, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head.
Facebook message, Everett.
Yeah, I got a Facebook message.
No.
Hey, Christina, just send me a Facebook message with your phone number, and I'll just call you.
We are like Electric Dynamite.
Number.
Badass. The dude abides. Put Armand in the voting pool.
Electric Dynamite. That's from
Yes.
That's Tenacious D.
Yeah, that's Lee saying that.
Yeah.
I just hate because nothing will happen to stop it. I know, man, dude. It sucks. It sucks. Nothing's gonna stop the fucking crooked political system either.
I don't remember. What are you talking about?
I was just talking to
I'm just
Dabney
kidding. It's
in
just
the
like
chat.
last week. I was going like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm.
Yeah. Kind of slow today on our call-in show, but you know what? I'm not in any hurry.
Why not?
It's going to make the podcast real fun when people listen. At this point, I'm going to say go ahead and skip ahead 30 seconds if you have that button. Hit the skip forward button. I don't know if that's a thing.
We're trying to line up our caller, but that's all right.
It's all right, indeed. I think we only got 2 calls.
Thomas didn't do too bad on the multiverse, though.
No, man,
you know?
it's fun talking to him, too.
That multiverse is weird, dude. You got to be like, you can't be a very closed-minded person to think about the multiverse, because if you start thinking like, you know, this Earth's, you know, the people that are like Christians. So those.
Hold on, I'm getting a call.
Oh, you getting a call?
I think it's working.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to turn your TV down. Hello. Hello.
Hey.
Your name's not. Is it Christina or is it Amanda? Or
I'm Chris.
Okay.
I'm Christina.
Okay.
No, you're the Witching Hour dude.
I am the dude.
Welcome to the show.
Hey guys.
How you doing?
Good. How are y'all?
We're doing good.
We're
I'm
not
doing
too
good.
bad. I'm okay.
So,
Well, that's good.
First and foremost, let's get out of the way. We keep talking. You're the Witching Hour podcast, dude. What's the Witching Hour podcast?
Yeah. Let's hit us with some knowledge here.
We are the Witching Hour, stories of the macabre and unusual.
Macabre.
No,
Macabre. Yep. We basically talk about true crime, paranormal events, cults, conspiracies, a lot of what y'all talk about.
Paranormal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a show I know.
Yeah.
It's cool. There's
And
plenty of
we-
room out there for
Definitely.
Yeah.
And we play a drinking game while we do the whole show.
Why
Every
the
show.
fuck didn't we think of that?
I don't know. That's a cool premise.
Do you guys do YouTube videos? Because I'll watch that shit.
We're thinking about it eventually. Not currently, but
It's
we're
not that
moving
hard.
towards that.
If you guys ever need some help getting it set up, like, let me know. I'll help you out.
Okay, sweet.
Yep. Anyway, what do you want to talk about with this today? What kind of cool stuff you want to talk about?
Okay, first off, have y'all ever heard of Dolores Cannon?
I have not. I'm gonna Google.
I don't
Google
think
her.
so. Yeah.
Dolores.
I have never.
She is a hypnotherapist. She started in the 60s. She originally was doing past life regressions, and she eventually got into, like, hypnotizing people that have been abducted.
Ooh. Oh, she's from St. Louis.
Oh, is she
born,
really?
Born in St. Louis. I'm sorry.
Oh. I didn't know that.
And I say that because that's close to us.
Yeah. But the really cool thing about her is allegedly through her hypnoregressions with these people that have been abducted, she, in her words, eventually started to be able to talk to extraterrestrials through her subjects that she was hypnotizing.
I thought you meant people who have been abducted, like
out.
kidnapped. You mean
No.
straight up abducted by ET?
Come on, we're
Yeah.
a cults, conspiracy, and paranormal
Sorry,
show,
that's
and
just-
you hear abduction and think kidnap?
I know. I'm a fraud.
Come on.
No, so she talked directly to the aliens, kind of like in the movie Independence Day, where Brent Spiner gets the alien tentacle around his neck, and they talk to him that way.
Kind of. More like the ETs were like mentally going through whoever was hypnotized.
Using the abductee and
And
the
talking.
hypnotized as a conduit, pretty much. Then
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
they are the telephone line.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
And according to her, they told her that they created Earth as well as human beings as like an experiment.
Makes sense.
Anunnaki.
And like tracking devices are put into people that have health issues, or they're also put into ETs that have volunteered to be humans so that they can see like how the human body works and what all the chemicals in the world we have today are doing to our bodies. And
So it's all
It's
just a
just
big experiment, huh? I assume.
yeah, it's just
Is it the thought is their physiology similar to ours? Is that why they're using us as guinea pigs? Kind of like how we
No.
use pigs. Is there like a
As our lab
right,
rats.
less advanced version, but close enough version of humans?
I think so. I think what the whole theory is that they created us and they hope to one day be able to progress us to their level, because they are like slightly humanoid in a sense, but they are significantly more advanced. Like they don't eat, they survive off of light energy. Their procreation is entirely different, but because they evolved us from apes in this theory, we're still very animalistic. And so they're trying to help us progress past the animal form to like the higher being form.
Well, thank you to the aliens.
Let me ask you this. Do you think those aliens could just be future us's that have evolved to where they don't have to eat and they use light and energy, and that their procreation is different, and they're coming back in time to check on us? Because maybe they didn't create it. Maybe it's just future us evolved. You know what I
Wasn't
mean?
that the movie
Yeah.
Interstellar?
I don't
Did either
think
of you
that
see
Yeah,
was.
it's kind of like the movie Interstellar.
Yeah, you should watch that movie with Matthew McConaughey.
I love that movie.
It was pretty good. You should check it out.
Is that the one with the strings for like the big? You see like at the end like the big strings.
Right,
for
yeah, it's
things?
like a
theory.
fourth dimensional
Yeah.
way to see all of time at one time, like a catalog of time.
If he doesn't go all right, I'm not watching it.
Well, you're out of luck, buddy.
Oh god.
That was pretty
But
good.
yeah,
Though.
that's the cool thing about this theory is like you constantly are able to branch off of it, like you did, Eric, with what if those beings are just us in the future and they're coming back to the past, and
Maybe to genetically modify us. Maybe they went back far enough to genetically modify us to what they want them future selves to be. You know, maybe when they go
Yeah.
back to their future, it's like, bam, they fix this thing in us, and now it makes their life better. You know, maybe they rely on an enzyme in the future that they don't want to have to rely on, and if they can come back and, you know, change that in us, maybe it won't. You know, they won't need that
Yeah.
enzyme in the future, something like that. You know what I mean? There's just so many different possibilities, but that's just what I'm trying to get at. Maybe
Yeah,
they're from the
we're
future
lab
just
rats.
to. Yeah,
It doesn't matter if they're from the future, from Mars, from the solar system next door, or another galaxy, really. I mean, it's somewhere else.
yeah.
True.
That's my thoughts on it anyway.
But yeah, she Dolores Cannon herself has written like 20 books between past life regression and like abductions and what the aliens are doing and yada yada yada. And some of it's really really complicated and I don't quite understand it because it's like physics and
Yeah, welcome to my
quantum
world.
theory. Yeah, and I'm just like glazing over as I'm reading it because I don't understand a single fucking word it's saying.
Right, like, so there's some subjects we'll do research on, and I'm just staring at my TV like, what the fuck does that mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
huh?
No,
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, I
Because
mean, I get it.
We'll sometimes pick subjects to do for our podcast, and I'm like doing the research, and finally I'm just like, fuck it, I gotta do something else. I don't understand any of this, and then I'm gonna be drunk, so then I'm just gonna sound like an idiot the whole time.
Those are the shows where that drinking game comes in real handy.
Yeah,
huh?
right. That's what happened to us
Yeah.
with our Obama show. I know somebody just asked about that recently, too, but we were going to do a Barack Obama show, and I started doing research for it, and I'm just like, none of this holds water, okay?
Yeah.
We can't really sit here and say this about this guy when it's proved wrong on 50 different
At that point,
websites
we'd be
on the internet.
shills the opposite
Exactly.
direction,
Yeah,
right?
it's proved wrong 50
Yeah.
different times on the internet. You could go and find this shit easily. So I can't really sit here and
All
try
that
to
means,
project
man,
this
is their
conspiracy.
counterintelligence game is high.
I can't sit here and try to like explain this conspiracy when it's not even a factor because it's been proved
Yeah.
wrong so many times. I hear you.
So Dolores Cannon, she seems pretty cool. I'm probably not going to buy any of her books just because I don't have a lot of time for reading. But
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't actually mind. That makes me want to get on YouTube and start looking for hypnosis videos of people who have been abducted, just to see what they say when they're under. But the only problem I have with people who get hypnotized is, are they full of shit? Are you actually hypnotized in there?
Yeah, like
I wonder if you can get me hypnotized, like somehow. I want to try that.
We need to get hypnotists in here.
We do.
Anyway.
Yeah. I'm like, sometimes I believe in things, but at the same time, the other part of me is like, really, is this real, or is this a whole bunch of bullshit? But talking about YouTube videos, you can actually go online and, on YouTube and just search Dolores Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole bunch of videos of her at different UFO seminars and conventions where she's giving lectures and talking about her whole theories and everything else. And I mean, I watched one, and at the end there's like a question and answer session, and there's some crazy fucking people that end up at these fucking conventions asking questions. But other than that, it's pretty interesting.
I would have to think, my thought about her being at that convention, is she there to research for her books
Or sell her books.
That's my, it's like, how are you using these
I have
people?
a tough time believing people that stand to make a profit off of what they're talking about.
I don't mind people
yeah.
making a profit, but when it's obvious that you're doing the circuit,
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if I trust you.
But you know what I mean? It makes your story a little less believable when you stand to make thousands and thousands of dollars off of telling this story. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It just doesn't give it the legitimacy that...
to break in and kind of go with that, we're going to have a doctor on the show here in a few weeks or a month or so. He's sending us a book about, it's a collection of stories that doctors have written about their weird shit that's happened in the operating room. People have died and come back to life and stuff like that. But it's his book, and it's a bunch of other doctors who stand to make a whole bunch of money telling these stories of people. I wonder if that breaks Hippocratic Oath. Boy, that makes me wonder. Can you write a book about your patients?
I think
you
if
can't
you
use...
keep it anonymous.
Yeah, you can't use names. That's
And then it's just a case study?
doctor-patient confidentiality.
Yeah.
Huh.
But, yeah, talking about that, like, the Travis Walton story, the Fire in the Sky story, like, I want to believe him because it's a cool story, but at the same time, there's, like, a lot of skeptics say he did this in order to make a whole bunch of money off of it.
Yeah, he was sick of logging, in my opinion. He was a logger that got abducted in the 70s, and now he's made a big deal out of getting abducted.
Oh, he got abducted.
Right.
Yeah, he's still making the UFO convention circuit. Like, every single year he's out there telling his story. And, like, some people have given, like, different accounts of the story according to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's also, like, a lot of people that say that him and his mom were both really into UFOs before the, in quotations, abduction story happened.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, it makes you wonder, did you just do this because you needed a buck and some attention? Or did something fucked up really happen to you?
Because if that's the case, I get it, but I'm not buying it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because you're just right along there with everyone else that just needs the buck and the attention.
It takes
and
away,
I understand that.
And it also takes away from those people like in Independence Day again. Hello, boys, I'm back. That guy who really got abducted.
That dude really did, yeah. In the
Just
movie.
in the movie.
Nobody's going to
wasn't some
believe someone
asshole.
like that. You know what I mean? He's just fucking the town drunk. But, that could be
He didn't
the
try to
idea.
sell a book either. I guess if you try to sell a book, it legitimizes you because then people don't treat you like an asshole.
Yeah, but he drank way too much.
Yeah, that could be it too.
Yeah, I've, like, talked to some people that have abduction stories, and, like, the ones that I really believe are the ones that, like, they're uncomfortable sharing this story because it's something scary and personal that happened to them.
Right, it's
unlike
easier
the ones that are out there
it's
saying,
easier to
here's
buy
my
it.
story, buy my story. Yeah.
Whenever somebody's got tears in their eyes and their
Body
shaking.
language rules all in those situations.
But again,
because if
a
you can do
sociopath can easily,
Yeah, but not everybody's a sociopath. And I'm saying, like, a sociopath could
the type
fool
of people
you
that
on
would lie, they would come up with these stories, they're all sociopaths. So,
Think so?
I mean,
it could be.
But even if 1 out of 1,000 of these people are legit, boom, that's all you need.
Yeah, I guess you're right there.
Yeah.
One instance is enough to prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about sociopaths, I want to make a quick note on your last episode, the simulation episode.
Yes.
Sure.
As I was listening to it, I was working and listening to it, and I was like, if I'm a fucking sim and there's someone else out there, like making my life choices or like deciding the shit that happens to me, then I'm being ran by a fucking sociopath, because the shit that happens is not fucking okay.
For real, it's like, hey, find somebody else to pick on and see what happens when bad shit happens.
F5,
Yeah,
go to work.
exactly.
Yeah, find out who else's car needs a blown engine today. You know what I mean?
Right?
How they're going to
Yeah.
react.
That's funny. I'm actually sitting in my broken down car right now. That's where I'm talking to y'all.
Oh, right. Well,
Yeah.
bummer.
That explains the Pat Benatar we heard a minute ago.
Yeah. Make a dream maker.
We were kind of
Yeah.
jamming on that.
I was wondering if you could hear that music. I guess
Oh,
y'all
yeah.
can.
I wonder if that's going to fuck up our YouTube. Oh, well. They're going to be like, oh, you
just-
tried to put music in your video.
Yeah.
Right.
Brr, all mute, no audio.
We're going to lose the 37 cents we stood to make off of this. Thanks a lot, Christina.
No shit, right? Damn it, we're not rich now.
That's going to take, now it's going to be another year until we can withdraw our $100 from YouTube. It's such a funny model.
It is? Yeah.
All right, Christina, how can we find your podcast? Where are you guys at? What do we type into
Are you on
interwebs?
Facebook? What podcast outlets do you go
Sell
through?
us one more time here.
Yeah, so we are on Facebook. You have to search the Witching Hour PCast.
You should post
we
that
have-
in the group, by the way.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And we have a Twitter. Just search the Witching Podcast. And then any of the podcast apps that you use, you just search the Witching Hour or the Witching Hour Stories of the Macabre and Unusual, and just find the one that says that specific title. We fucked up and we picked a title that other people have. So there is a little bit of confusion sometimes, but we're the one that has that long ass fucking title at the end.
You got to love it. They never tell you how you're supposed to fill in these fields whenever you start doing a podcast and submitting it to all these places.
I know.
You find it out
It's
later.
Yep, and then you're like, fuck, it's too late now.
Yeah. Ah, well, say la vie.
Yep.
All right, cool. Christina, we appreciate you calling in and
Yep,
talking
thanks
to
for being
us
on.
about Dolores and abductions and all kinds of other cool shit. And we'll catch you in a group tonight, tomorrow, and for the rest of the time, I guess. Hopefully.
All right, cool, guys.
Yep.
See you. Thanks again.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
I want to be hypnotized.
That's what you took out of that?
Yep, I can't get any further past. You know what? I even like that's my new thing now. I'm gonna have to figure out what exactly hypnosis is, and I got to find a legit hypnotist.
A legit hypnotist. That's the hard thing, too. Because for every
Is there
person,
such a thing?
Well, think about it. You wonder about all the people lying about being hypnotized. You got to wonder about how many people lying about being hypnotists. I'm going to go out there and spin the shiny coin
Yeah,
of
but
gold.
you gotta think there's assholes like me and you out there that are like, you know, even if the guy is a lying hypnotist and he's like, all right, I'm gonna hypnotize you, like,
No, you're not.
no, you're not. Yeah, like, no, you can't. You know,
I'm assuming
Fuck
that
you.
there's got to be a level of compatibility between the method of the person trying to hypnotize you and the person who is receiving the hypnosis. They have to be susceptible one to be hypnotized, I would assume. Not everybody's probably as susceptible to going under. If it's a real thing at all.
I don't know. I want to be hypnotized. I want to
But
at
you
least
get what I'm
try
saying?
it.
Some people, you got the classics, move the watch back and forth in front of the face. Some people just do the light in the eye and the smooth talk. And
I'd
then
be
you're
willing
under.
to do one of the ones where the guy makes you cluck like a chicken and shit.
You would do anything. I
if
understand that.
if he could actually hypnotize me, you can make fun of me completely in
Well,
the video. I want to be.
Fuck it. I'm going to set it up. I want to try to get us hypnotized.
I wish you would.
All right. Well, I think we got one more caller for today because it looks like Ramrod is backed out.
Oh yeah, car ramrod.
That's cool. That's cool. Next time, Rod. We destroyed his. He was going to try to be anonymous today for whatever we were going to talk about. Then we're not even going to talk about what we were going to talk about. But then, like, as soon as we started the show today, we killed every bit of anonymity he had.
Yeah, Everett's a fuck up.
So, next time we won't even call him Ramrod at this point. We done ruined that name.
Yeah, so like we have to come up with a new anonymous name.
All right, so we're going to call Ian real quick and take our last call for the day. It's been fun so far. Hope this works.
Well, okay, so
Too late.
right.
Too late. I'm already making a call.
Oh man,
Yep.
I don't believe that though.
You think he'd be force hypnotized?
I think that should show you it's bullshit.
Could be.
If you have to believe in it for it to work.
Oh, he sent me his number 38 minutes ago and I hadn't called him yet.
What an asshole.
No, it ain't his fault. Oh, I'm the asshole? Screw you. Well, he's not the asshole. I guess I am the asshole.
You have reached the voicemail box of
Let's leave him a message.
443
All right.
67293.
I'm with a message.
Cool.
Hey, how you doing? This is Eric from Surreal Talk.
Hey, it's Everett too. Hey, what's up, Ian? We called you to get you on the show today, but you didn't answer your phone.
Yeah,
cool.
So we're just leaving you a
I'm
message.
actually going to call him right back.
You gonna call him right back?
Yeah, see, I'm gonna spam his phone and see if it works. So.
Yeah, just keep calling him.
No, I'm not going to keep calling. I'm going to call him one more. I'm going to call you one more time. We'll see what happens. If not, we'll catch you on the next time.
Yep.
So hang it up and call him right back. Oh, maybe hang up. There we go. Okay. One more time. Paste in the number. I hope that was his phone number. He didn't accidentally give it wrong, and I'm calling somebody else leaving that message. They're like, I don't know what a Surreal Talk is. Don't call me again.
Like, I thought you were talking about 2 large pizzas.
Here we go. Come on.
Hello?
Oh, Ian. Is this Ian?
This is Ian.
Hey, Ian, it's Everett and Eric from Surreal Talk. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Pretty good. We just left you a voicemail. You can kindly disregard that now.
Oh, no.
So Ian sent me an email. He wanted to be a part of the show today, and he wanted to talk about, and I'm going to loosely start this by saying you wanted to talk about like the chips going in all of our debit cards and credit cards and stuff, right? And everything else that goes off of that.
Yeah, I mean, being a total hypocrite, I actually just used it at Chick-fil-A, but I still want to talk about it.
Fair enough. I used mine about an hour ago, too, at the gas
People
station.
still eat there?
Yeah.
So what I said in my email, I never actually fully thought this through yet.
Now's the time.
But, yeah, I always thought something was up with that. I don't know why. You know, usually invention and making things better comes with making things faster, and this seems to double your time, which doesn't really make sense to me. Why would you implement something so new that takes more time? Everything's getting faster. And
Yeah, I mean, what do you need more than just the ability to link a person to their account at whatever financial institution? Like, link me to MasterCard by whatever way, but why make it slower? Because at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's authentication of I am who I say I am with this card. This card links me. What else can that chip have in it?
More than one way.
GPS.
Great question.
I don't know that it has anything in it, honestly. I've never gone up to it with any kind of like RF measuring device and see if it's, what it's putting off. But what do you got on
Oh,
it?
it's emitting a radio frequency.
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
I mean, something definitely activates when you hook it up to the power source inside the machine. So something going on. It's not just a swipe and go anymore. It's a register where you are and
Yeah, it's
and how much-
inputting your location.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing can be
And
done with
then-
magnetic stripe. Really, I mean, whenever you stick it into that machine then has whatever your identification number is.
All the CIA needs is a program to pull where you're using your card at.
My understanding of those chips is they're like the digital version of the magnetic stripe. The magnetic stripe you can think of as analog because it reads the magnetics coming off of it. Like it goes past
right,
the
but why
magnet.
fix what's not broken?
Why fix what's not broken? I mean, that's a good point. But why move from cassette tape to CD?
Yeah, but you saw cassette tape to CD. You could see the benefits in
No,
that.
that's true. It's fidelity. Where's the benefit? It's a good point. I'm with you. Let's keep going down this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Where is the benefit in them chips?
Maybe they don't wear out like the magnetic stripes used to. Like you do them so many times, they get wore out in your wallet and they don't slide anymore.
Yeah, but don't you have to?
Yeah.
It's cost effective to put a chip in though.
Those chips don't cost nothing. They print those chips basically.
You think so?
Metal printers, yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're pretty inexpensive. But
Yeah.
your magnetic strip is still there, so the card with the chip automatically costs more than what it would cost without the chip,
Again,
because they could still print
Good
them without
point.
them and save the money on that.
The guy in the chat, Mike Bube, he says the chip generates a unique transaction code to make fraud harder, and it cannot be used to track you from a distance. It's an unpowered passive device.
exactly my thought too. It's just a coil that it's just like when the magnetics where they use a passive like field to read the data. That's pretty much how that chip, quote unquote, works. It's
I don't know.
powered by.
I don't have one in mind.
You know how Tesla did the electric or the wireless
I mean, that could
electricity?
be the surface answer.
That could be the surface answer. That could be the way they want us to think about it.
I like it.
How
where
deep
your
down
head's
this
at,
hole do
Ian.
you go? What do you think they're doing? Just theorize, hypothesize.
I just think it's the whole how Facebook tailors ads to things that you Google search. I think it has nothing to do with I swipe my card at Chick-fil-A and I swipe my card at the grocery store or what have you, and then there's profiles built on me behind my back on places I go on a regular basis, on things that I do. I understand
Now that would be fucked up if you bought something at Chick-fil-A,
the same way, but
and then when you got home there was a Chick-fil-A ad on your Facebook. Now that'd be fucked up.
I mean that's only around the corner.
Yeah, I don't disagree there. But let me ask you this: why can't they do that again with the magnetic strip? If it's going into their servers and it shows either, it doesn't matter how it was slid into their system, be it magnetic stripe or the chip, you were just at Chick-fil-A.
Definitely. It's the exact same idea.
I'm
not sure, man. I always thought there was something up for it. And then on the other side of things, where it always asks you if you want money back, I always thought that was like a.
That's the same thing as the casinos not wanting you to leave the door. They want you to spend your money either which way. They want you, if it's a credit card, they want you to take out that $20 so they can get their 20 cents of interest over the course of time. And if they do that 20 million times, they got 20 million 20 cents. So I mean, that's good business in my opinion. If I ran a credit card company, I'd do everything I could to get people to take money out of their accounts. But I'm a shill for money.
Very true.
Indeed.
But that was all I had, fellas. I mean, I wanted to brainstorm a little bit more on it. I'm still like developing my little.
No, I dig it. I mean, if it was anything other than RF, I actually, just when I was saying that, I came up with the whole thing went through my head in a flash, like before you die and you get your whole life. I have a wallet, and I'm actually using it right now, that is built to not allow people to scan your RFID from a distance. So, like, come up next to you and use like a scanner and just pull all of your RFID information from all of your cards right out of your wallet. My wallet actually supposedly has the, I guess, what it takes to block that.
So now because
so maybe they did it just to sell wallets.
Chip in my pocket, I need to go buy a new wallet.
Yeah, maybe they did it just
now
to sell
my credit
wallets.
card has a chip on it.
But the flash or the side thing to that is where I work at, we have a in and out system for the locks that is a little RFID chip that's on my keychain. I just stick it up to it, it slides or lets me in.
Yeah,
I put that inside of my wallet and hit my wallet on the reader, and it let me right in. So I'm calling shenanigans on that wallet.
Really?
Yeah. I'll show you right after we get with the show today. We'll walk over to the thing. I'll put my little chip inside my wallet, and it'll let us right in the door.
And it's supposed to not let RFID.
$75 wallet.
Oh, they fucking seen you coming.
Seen me coming. Big time. Got that for Christmas. April bought it for me. I think she probably got it on sale for like $30 or whatever, but it's like a $75 wallet for Christmas. It's pretty cool. It's leather. It's a nice wallet, notwithstanding. But the little catch is it's keep your RFID information in your pocket. Fail.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I don't know. That's pretty cool. All right, Ian. Well, thanks for calling in. Whenever you get this developed a little bit more, we'd love to have you back and talk about it again.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I'm looking forward to developing a little more, see what kind of crazy things we can all come up with.
If you want, bounce it off the people in the group, man. We got all the kind of right minds to extrapolate and go further down that rabbit hole in there.
Right. There's.
Yeah, I try my best to hop on that Facebook page as much as when I have some free time.
Yep, dig it. All right,
Ian. All right, thank you, guys.
Thanks for calling in, man. Later.
Take it easy.
Later. All right, we actually have one more caller. I just got a email. They want to call and be anonymous. They like the idea of the anonymous.
Yeah, which they got the idea earlier from the chat.
From Ramrod, which we'll get him on eventually. Let me see here. I'm still working out the details to get the number.
I mean, that's the way to go, though, anonymous. That's probably what this guy was saying. He's like, I can call anonymous.
You think it's from anonymous? The guy is in anonymous?
Oh, I don't think so. I think
we are watching your show. We have a message we would like to put out.
We really like
doing it on our official
channels.
Can
you guys give us a shout out? We're anonymous.
Next thing you know, all the lights go down. Zoop. They shut us down. Fuck it.
I don't even have a name that we're going to use for this. I have a real name, but I'm not giving it out. I'm not giving out my sources. But here we go. I'm going to put the number in. We're going to call. See what happens. Hope this is the right number. Yes, it is. Okay. Should have a ring any second.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe not. Oh, there it is.
Ring a ding ding ding.
Hello.
Hello, this is Eric and Everett from Surreal Talk, Mr. Anonymous caller who we don't know your name. What is your name today, Mr. Anonymous?
I want to call him Anon.
Anon?
You can just refer to me as Anonymous.
That's fine.
I like it. Did you get that from the chat earlier where the other guy was wanting to do that? Because that was a good idea, I think.
Yeah, it sounded pretty good.
Dig it. All right, what do you want to talk about there, Mr. Anonymous?
Okay, so I'm going to tell a story about a person I know.
Sure.
And try to keep any personal identifying characteristics out of the story as much as I can.
Dig it, man. Let's hear it.
If I realize that I have messed it up, then I'm simply just going to hang up and go from there.
Yeah, if at any point you fuck up, just hang up. We'll be like, okay, we know what happened there. No, and we'll hold no ill will. So lay it on us, man. We want to hear the story of your friend.
Okay, so I have a very close, longtime friend that is in the military.
Right.
I should say was in the military. I'm not going to list a specific branch of service.
That's probably smart. Keep it anonymous. We like that. That's the theme of this call.
But so he was deployed in Afghanistan, and he was blown up by friendly fire.
Ooh, fuck.
From another service.
Bummer. Like what? Like a grenade or something?
No, like a 2,000-pound bomb from a jet.
Like drop bomb. Okay, ordnance. Gotcha.
Son of a bitch.
How close did it go off?
It was 10 meters away from him and his other soldiers.
All right, go on.
So what I find the most interesting about his story is the backstory that kind of leads up to it. So he's just like myself, big into conspiracy theories and everything else. And apparently he was talking about these theories on his operating base where this event took place from.
Oh.
So at first it was just the I guess the typical, oh, you're crazy type talk.
Yeah, you'll get
soldiers
that.
would question, and people ended up starting to listen to what he was saying, and he really put an emphasis on 9/11 being his biggest discussion point.
Smart man.
So the way he tells it, they'd go out on guard duty. He would be telling the story to his soldiers. Guard duty ends. They'd come back for the next shift, and his soldiers would be excited to hear more. Like, all right, where did we leave off? Those type of conversations.
Sure.
So they were at an operating base that had already been named after a friendly fire incident, which is also pretty ironic given the circumstance.
Right.
So he talked about 9/11, big into conspiracy theories, and then on 9/11, they get in a firefight with an enemy threat about 700-800 meters or yards away, whichever you prefer.
Yards.
And yeah, so he was the NCO in charge, the
What's NCO?
non-commissioned in
Gotcha.
charge. Yeah,
Gotcha.
up at an outpost, not at the operating base itself, but an outpost. And the way he tells it, they had got into a firefight, and literally 30 seconds later, he gets a radio transmission that a bomb will be dropped on that enemy position.
So get the fuck out, more or less, is what they're saying?
He don't have to get the fuck out. It's like 800 meters away.
It's like 800 meters away. So this is where it gets really crazy. So they are 30 seconds into a firefight. They are out in the middle of nowhere. If you consider the airspace and the time of flight, it would have taken way longer to get to get an aircraft out there anyways.
Take
So
your
they
word
are
for it.
30 seconds. Yeah, they're 30 seconds into a firefight. The enemy is 800 yards away, and they are being told that weapons away, 30 seconds, and to get small. So how he explains it is they all laughed. They pulled out their cameras ready to watch this bomb get dropped. Like, yeah, we'll
fucked.
get small. We'll get small. There's no way this is going to mess us up. It's freaking 800 meters away. And considering the fact that it was like 2 enemy personnel and we're using this 2,000-pound bomb that just happens to be weapon or within the airspace, it just to him seemed like overkill, but they were all pumped and they're going to record it. And so he says that he could hear the aircraft come screaming in, And next thing you know, their position had gotten blown up. But this is his biggest argument is everything is done off from a grid reference. So if you're at an outpost that gets in a firefight constantly and call in for support, then whoever is supporting would recognize that digit. So the biggest argument for the case was that the grids had gotten flip-flopped, but anybody would have realized that number just like they do when they recognize a phone number.
Right.
So somebody would have been like, oh, we need to flip-flop those. So essentially the bomb was dropped and they were all blown up and had to get pushed down to the operating base and then ultimately medevac from Afghanistan.
Were there casualties?
Yeah, they ended up coming back to the States. Well, one in particular came back to the States.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. 800 meters is a half mile for us Imperial dogs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's plenty of space for any kind of normal, even a big ass fucking bomb.
That's a long way, dude. Half mile's a long way.
Yeah, you should be pretty safe. And okay, so was this a daytime or nighttime op? Do you know?
This was during daytime, and you got to think in Afghanistan, it's not just the distance; it's the elevation.
Right, there's elevations. True.
We're dealing with multiple terrain features in between the point of impact.
Mm-hmm. And that makes a difference too. If you when you drop a bomb out of your plane, if you think you're dropping onto a flat area, it's got forward motion, so it's coming down at an angle. But if you've got terrain, it might hit something that's kind of jutted up that you didn't think about,
right,
and blow up ahead of time because something was higher.
Or vice versa, in a valley, go further than you think because of
the slope. Good point. But you'd think that their professional fucking bombers would have that down pat.
They
could shoot a mortar up a guy's ass from fucking miles away. We could stick a nuke up.
Are you not listening to the dude's story?
I am. Sorry.
The dude's story. Think about it. The guy was talking about 9/11, and then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? I mean, are you not listening to the dude's story?
I am. I guess I'm not drawing all the conclusions.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of jumping around a little bit just because I'm winging it here. I'm not trying to give out too much.
Right.
I dig.
So,
don't mind my friend. He has no frame of reference here.
So let me just touch on the aircraft a little bit more just so you can kind of understand.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn here.
What goes on. So from what he says is it's a laser-guided bomb. It drops where it is supposed to drop based off from our crazy technology that we have nowadays.
Yeah, you paint the target. Yeah, somebody stands across the way, shoots a laser at it, and the computer system on board the airplane sees that target, and the smart bomb goes right at it, basically. Long story short, right?
Essentially, but nobody's lasing it, done inside, a control center.
Right, somebody on the ground, right?
Yeah, sending a text to a cell phone. So they get the call, they scramble aircraft, hey, it's going to go right there where they want it to go.
So you're alleging that they knew the guys were in the area, they had the planes ready because they knew they'd probably be dropping a bomb there, not due to the fact that it had anything to do with any kind of insurgents or hostiles, but that this group that they were sending in, they knew they were sending them in here. Doesn't matter if there's hostiles or not, and they're going to take them out. From on high, that was their plan. They kind of marched them out into the shit with the express intention to blow them up.
Based off from how he tells it, you're almost there. However, I'm going to recap a little bit.
Do it.
So he talks about conspiracy theories. All the soldiers on the FOB listens to his theories. His main theory is on 9/11.
He can't. Yeah, they can't have him around.
On September 11th, he gets in a firefight. Not even in a firefight for 30 seconds, and you already have an aircraft in the airspace right where they are at, and they drop this bomb. The problem is the bomb hits where they are at. They being my buddy that is the huge conspiracy theorist, along with his soldiers. And you got to think about the amount of ammunition that was trying to be used. 2,000 bombs or 2,000 pounds for 2 personnel. It's extreme overkill in any way that you look at it. So what he thinks is it was absolutely not an accident, and it was intended to happen exactly that way, because any experienced pilot, especially given that area, would have recognized that the locations had gotten flip-flopped if that was the case. Aside from that, he was the sergeant in charge, and he never called for any air support. They just magically were there.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That sounds like some CIA type shit.
So to call in for air support, the sergeant or the commanding officer has to call that in, right? That you can't just do that like.
Well, they don't just do it like, hey, we were thinking we were in the area. We're going to send some air support. That's not generally how that happens. You don't just willy-nilly throw away thousands and thousands of dollar bombs.
Right, right.
So whoever would need the support would call that in and get a request. And typically it's going to be some time before it happens anyway.
Right.
So it is a process, but I guess that day it was just an extremely fast process.
I mean, if we're to believe the coincidence of the situation, you got to believe that it was just everything worked out that day, and it just so happens that the guy had an accident on that day with the way he was aiming. The computer math was off. The wind changed. Whatever happened, half mile of wind change. That's pretty bad. He would have had to been dropping that from like 80,000 feet up.
Hey, the bomber was a flat Earth believer and didn't believe in the Coriolis effect.
That's what it was. He was a flat earther. How high up do they drop those bombs, the munitions from generally?
Who would know that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Half mile, maybe, you figure? Can't be too high.
I don't know. Never been in a battlefield before.
I would think because of the elevation that they're in, they probably can't fly all that high and still get an accurate
that makes sense.
Drop target. So
Right.
I feel like they would probably be a little bit lower, and especially since he said he heard it come screaming in. You know, there's a difference between hearing an aircraft overhead and then hearing an aircraft at your head.
Yeah, that makes sense, because like you ever been to an air show, you know what one sounds like whenever they're 200 foot ahead above you as opposed to 2,000 foot above you.
Right.
Where you can barely hear them versus like I can't hear anything else.
Yeah.
So he got evac from Afghanistan, and he was instantly silenced. But before he left Afghanistan, he went to all the soldiers and gave those copies of the video that they all took when the bird was coming to watch it drop. He passed them all along because he knew what was next. He told all the soldiers, hey, take this video, hide it in your porn, hide it in your music, wherever you got to hide it.
Yeah, hidden folder on the desktop, and then deep into another folder, Yeah, another routine.
Right.
If I was to guess.
And I guess he told them, hey, they're going to come and try to grab up this stuff. So he ends up getting evac, and later on his soldiers tell him that as soon as he left, the higher ups came in and said, you know, nobody say nothing about this, delete this, you know, delete all your videos, etc.
Holy shit, man.
You know what this sounds like like? This sounds exactly like the movie A Few Good Men.
No, that's not it at all.
No, think about it. It's a cover up. They ordered an off the books like what do you call it whenever you punish someone? Off the books punishment. Like they give the kid a code red in where they beat the shit out of him and they end up killing him in that. Well, this time they're like, fuck it, we're not going to send people to give him a blanket party. We're just going to drop a big ass bomb on his head.
Yeah, but
and then
think
nobody
about
knows
the
nothing
implications here, though, man. If talking about 9/11 and being military personnel and talking about 9/11 means a death sentence, come the fuck on, man. That's not okay at all. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. That's the implications here. That's the end game of this. That means our government is actively killing people that work for them that talk about 9/11.
Well, not our government.
Or
agents
trying.
within the government.
Agents within the government.
You know
I shouldn't
how
say
I
our
am
government.
about
I know.
that.
Right.
I'm gonna interrupt right there before it gets too crazy. All right, this is just his thought process based off from the circumstance. He's not in any way implying that it happened.
Right. No, I hear you.
Yeah, it's just it's the odds are not impossible, but very low that it happened completely by coincidence, is what his theory is.
Whoa, did you see that bug on my face? That was weird.
Yeah, he doesn't think it's a coincidence. Real quick to hit on one of the chats. DPS Entertainment, he said this dude's buddy could know some stuff, and they wanted to silence him while he was still in the service. My buddy is a straight up freaking nothing special, like no special job, anything. He's
just a grunt.
He's just a grunt. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I don't want to take up too much time. So he gets back to the States, and nobody wants to even acknowledge what had happened. He's asking for, an investigation. He's trying to see, what's going on. Well, recovering first, he was like, he had traumatic brain injury, a whole bunch of stuff. So he recovered, went back to his unit, and he's trying to figure out what's going on, and nobody, I guess, would say anything. And so later on, I guess he got all of his belongings in the mail, shipped back to him, and his computer was completely melted. Like, straight up melted his computer, put it back in a box, and mailed it to him.
Like they just tossed it in the oven for an hour on 350 and sent it back?
Yes, I guess, something similar to that. But
Did you see the laptop yourself?
Oh, yeah, you can definitely see it. It is a deliberate attempt to freaking damage that laptop.
Weird.
So Mike Boob says, wait, they target
It's Boob. Mike Boob. He's trying to make a joke. It's Booby. Booby.
Okay. So they target a soldier talking to a couple dozen guys. Meanwhile, there are how many international broadcast, podcasts, radio shows, YouTube videos makers walking around?
What's he getting at there? Saying why would they try that?
Yeah,
when
he's
so
saying
many
that he
people
doesn't believe this. Well, I'm saying that those people don't work for them. Podcast, YouTube makers, they don't work for the Army
you know what else they got?
or the Marines or the Air Force or wherever this guy was in duty in. They don't work for that.
So many years of counterintelligence telling you that all these whistleblowers are full of shit working behind them as well too.
That's also if you're implying that it was because of the conspiracy theories, but we all know that our government does some fucked up stuff just to reach a different agenda. So maybe they wanted something to happen up there that would change something in their current location. If that makes sense.
Sure does.
Kind of like, just like we do a false flag for Sandy Hook, well, maybe something was supposed to happen up there to change the outcome of something in the region or whatever the case.
Yeah, we'll never know if there was plans that changed last minute or whatever. I mean, we'll never know. Our pay grade is too low.
So anyways, he's trying to get the investigation, trying to figure out what's going on. Eventually, everybody else comes back from deployment. They had finished the deployment, and everybody came back. And they were. He started asking around, or he heard that the investigation had gotten finished. And I guess somebody had told him that the investigation was finished. My buddy's like, awesome, I want to see it. And he's like, no, you don't want to see it. And he's like, yeah, I do. And he's like, no, it's all bullshit. And my buddy's like, I know, that's why I want to see it. So he went up to his his leaders, and he's like, I want to see the investigation. And he was told, well, we don't have one because we burnt it out at the operating base.
They burnt the report? That's weird.
Yeah, pretty much. They had burnt the final investigation. I'm sure it's still available somewhere. He doesn't know how to get a hold of it or anything else. But so apparently nothing in the investigation matched anything about the area that they were in, like the distance from the observation post to the base, the elevation, literally nothing. The investigation said that it was a 500-pound bomb instead of a 2,000, and et cetera. And also it was blamed on pilot error. They blamed it on pilot error instead of...
That's the easiest way to do it.
Right. Instead of saying, like, oh, they messed up, they flip-flopped the grids. Instead, they blamed it on this pilot that, who knows, probably felt freaking horrible. He was just out carrying a job. and dropped it where he was told to drop it, and next thing you know, like, his career is done and he's under investigation or whatever.
Yeah, you probably can't drop too many fucked up bombs and let them think they're going to do it some more.
So let me stop you right there. People in the chat are kind of going a little nuts about this, and they're like going, okay, so it just seems like a lot of risk to silence someone who doesn't have a lot of reach. Well, my counterpoint to that would be that person does have a lot of reach, because it could cause the troops to rebel.
It's called rebel rousing, is what it is.
Okay, or even have resentment, lowering morale, which in a war situation you can't have that.
Right.
And then this other
dissension in the ranks.
This other person says, why send back the laptop? It looks way more suspect than losing it. Now, what I have to say to that is, it's to send a message. This whole entire situation was to send a message. That's why sending the laptop back burnt up and not just losing
a message to all troops, basically. Shut your fucking mouth.
Whether it's to these people, that guy, this, or whoever knows about it, there's a message being sent there, and it's like, don't fucking do this, because
it's not quite as overt as Hadley in Shawshank Redemption. The fucker's going
Hadley busted his head good.
No, he's getting ready to have himself an accident, throw him off the roof.
Yeah, not quite that. Yeah.
But what they're saying is, yeah, keep up your talking, because you'll have yourself an accident. There'll be a misplaced bomb coming right up your ass.
So
that's the subtext.
Well, once again, I just want to clarify. All right, these are the stuff that I'm told. He's not saying that that he had he got his soldiers to follow so much into conspiracy that they became, anarchists or anti-government or whatever. It was just talk amongst guard duties, just like you would listen to this podcast, something similar to that.
Right.
He's not implying that, like all conspiracies, we just don't know, but they make us think, and that's why we like to talk about them. So he's not implying that that it was a direct action against him. He's just looking at all the things lining up and saying, holy crap, maybe this isn't a coincidence. So I'm going to go just a little bit further, and then I'm done. I know I've been talking for forever.
You're good.
So like a year and a half goes by, right? He got medevacs from Afghanistan. He didn't get the investigation. His whole battalion didn't even acknowledge that he existed anymore, etc.
He was ostracized. He was blackballed then, huh?
Exactly. Everybody was told not to say shit about it, etc. So he ends up going to a different duty station, just to end up getting a phone call later saying that the incident was leaked onto the internet and was going viral.
I kind of want to try to find it now.
It did go viral? It was leaked?
It was leaked.
I would say post that video if you can find a link to it in the group, but then then it might give away who you are. So don't do that.
I feel like I can take context clues and find it.
I don't know how many similar videos there are of similar situations. I imagine there is some, conspiracy or not, friendly fire happens, sometimes, but I don't want to, if there's any unit information or anything like that, I'm not trying to get him, screwed in any way, shape, or form. But,
what kind of friend are you? Trying to keep your friend from being screwed. I'm just making a dumb joke.
So ultimately, he tracks down the video. He sees it. It's covered by some mainstream, not necessarily mainstream, but online media sources. And so what they did is they tracked down some of these soldiers that weren't part of the incident, or some leaders that weren't part of the incident but were there when it happened. So essentially, in the news story, for the people that they talked to, they completely changed the story to make everybody else out to be a hero besides the person that was in charge of the outpost. Once again, the media source said, it was a 500-pound bomb. they said that the the first sergeant was the one that made all the call prior to that engagement happening against the soldiers versus the enemy. There was a rocket launched, and my buddy had all of his soldiers up on the observation post to go man the weapons because he thought that something was going to happen, and sure as shit it did. But so in the story, they make the leadership out to be the ones that had told everybody to get up and get behind weapons instead of, portraying it like it actually happened. So we have an incorrect investigation that is not only incorrect but is destroyed, and then you have false media stories along with all the other evidence. So that's essentially
well, it has all the
story.
The classic hallmarks of a fuck up and a cover up, and even an actual direct attack on a United States military. Whether or not it actually went down that way, I mean, we'll never know. But it sounds like it's a possibility.
Dude, I feel like that story could just be legit as fuck. Honestly, like I do. I seriously do. Because I don't put it past anything that
I could believe that all the facts
that
as
Anon's
presented from his buddy who was over there are exactly as he says. We'll just never know exactly what the intentions or if there were intentions. And that's where there's so many questions we could ask.
God, I just want to see the video.
But at the same time, it would not surprise me that our government tried to shut down a dissenter.
No, that's the thing. I mean, there's a war on people like that.
Yeah.
Well, he constantly tells me that he still debates on it. I mean, he talks about it and everything else. He still debates it himself. Is this because he's conspiratorial? Is this all in his head that he fabricated this story or whatever? To maybe he's just programmed to think that way, or is he thinking that way because it's his gut feeling that something was off? Yeah. So, like I said, he's never going to know. Probably none of his people that were up there are going to know. It's just one of those things that's a shitty thing that happened, and it got swept under the rug, and he's part of a military cover-up.
I mean, possibly.
So, well, I guess in any way that you want to look at it, whether it was a...
Well, something's getting covered up, I guess, yeah. Whether it was a fuck-up in a bomb drop or whatever, yeah.
Right. So, all right, so that's essentially my story.
Well, thanks for sharing, Anon. That's a pretty good thing right there, man. And your buddy swears up and down by this, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
But that being said, I just want you guys and all your viewers to know that this is a completely fabricated story.
For the purpose of yeah, I got you.
There is there's no identifying information within it, and this was a story that I had written for a school project.
Sure. This is just something we made up to talk about for the purpose of the show. None of this actually happened. Wink. So just
hope everybody enjoyed it, and
thanks for calling Anon. How do you spell that, Anon? Is that with an A-N-O-N? Okay.
A-N-O-N.
Sure, just wanted to credit that right later.
His mom hated him. Anon. Called him Anon.
Well, it's because it's where he's really from. That's a really popular name where he's from.
Oh. I wouldn't know what country that'd be.
Yeah, me either. I don't want to give any more identification out. Now you can Google what country is Anon popular in and probably figure the whole thing out. Anyway.
I don't think there'll be much to find anyways, considering it's false. So it'll be all right.
If anyway we can find that video, or you can get that to us, or anybody in the group, or anybody listening on the podcast can find a copy of that video, I'd like to see it. Put it in the group. Send it to me, info@Surreal Talk Podcast. I don't care. We'll make sure it gets seen. So, all right. Well, thanks for calling in, Anon. We'll catch you next time, and maybe we will see you in the group. We won't know.
Absolutely. Thanks.
All right, man. Take it easy.
And there's a reason I can tell you that.
What's that? You can find it? Eric says he could find it. He's written this on a piece of paper so that...
You can't find something that's false.
What? What do you mean?
You know what I mean?
You're saying you can't find it?
Yeah, because he made that up.
Oh, that's right. I got you. You can't find it if it didn't really happen.
Right.
So if there's a video of this thing that didn't really happen, we'd like to see it. Yeah. Anyway, So what did you think of today's show? It was pretty fun. We went all over the place again.
We sure did.
Good time talking to everybody. Any final closing thoughts for people? I know next week, like we said, we're doing Hollywood deaths, weird Hollywood deaths. I don't know. I don't think we'll focus too much on the music side, so we're not going to talk too much about Biggie and Tupac, which will likely get its own show. I don't care about that subject, but everybody does.
Everybody does except Everett.
It just seems like who gives two fucks about these guys who their entire life before they got killed was in violence anyway? How big of a surprise is it they eventually get gunned down and we don't know who did it?
Well,
like every other drive-by that happens in the inner city, we don't find out who did it. There's the whole story, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll talk about that another time. Next week, though, we're going to dive deep into some weird Hollywood deaths and see where that takes us. We're going to have Armand back on the show. Ought to be a good time. Thank you, everybody out there on the chat, for joining us on the show today.
We definitely appreciate it. It was a lively discussion today.
So what show is this, and where are we from? Like, the group.
Oh, well, this is Surreal Talk, but you should go to the website, www.surrealtalkpodcast, vote in the poll, Team Eric. We have an Audible page. Not an Audible page. We have a Patreon account, which is
patreon.com/surrealtalk.
Yeah, and that just kind of helps us. With
if you don't know what Patreon is, it's basically volunteer subscription to our show. You give us money a month for whatever reason. You can give us $5, you can give us $1, you can give us $100. It doesn't matter, but whatever you give goes to us.
Yeah, goes to us.
Not that we've ever actually taken anything out yet that we've gotten.
Yeah, we still don't have enough to take out.
So one of these days, that's our constant
That's a
problem.
YouTube thing, too. We don't have enough money to take out.
Yeah. Oh, well. That's kind of cool, though. We appreciate everybody who's a Patreon supporter.
Thanks to all of our callers today. We had Anon, Ian, the Witching Hour Dude.
Thomas, and our Anon.
I said Anon. And Thomas. Who's the first one?
God, dude, we've had so many days. Let me look at my list here.
Yeah. Yeah, join the Facebook group. Thanks, Scott.
Jason didn't call in today, but we can get to talk to him. I don't know who we called first. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Thanks, everybody.
It was a good show, though. I mean, it wasn't bad. So, yeah, we appreciate y'all.
Thanks again. We'll catch you all next week. This has been Surreal Talk, a Lineup Media Group or lineupmedia.fm podcast. I know.
God,
I
you
suck.
suck.
I usually do that. So.
You suck.
All right, catch you all next week.
FM production. Thank you.
Record still on the podcast.
Oh, okay. So no way. Susan Michelle is Rachel Apogea.
What you talking about?
Wait. Message me on Facebook. And is it? Well, I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, context clues. Context clues.
What you talking about, man?
Oh, hang on. Is that mic hot over there?
Yeah.
Turn it off.
Can be. Oh. Check. As long as you talk quiet, you should be fine. Gotcha.
I can get that.
Gotcha. Am I back? Is this thing on again? Yeah, okay. Nothing. That wasn't anything.
Hi, everybody.
All right, I'm saving our show.
Peace. Appreciate everybody today.
Podcast will be released on Monday like normal.
Yes, the podcast comes out on Monday on your favorite podcast outlet.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Yeah, you killing it?
I'm
ready.
Yeah, I got stuff. I got to go to the grocery store and get some hamburger.
I have to urinate.
Hamburger.
My favorite.
Anyway, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you.